Hello, everyone. We have the opportunity today to interview the one and only developer of an up and coming and ambitious space game called Warped Space. So, you have over 20 years of experience in development, but please tell us about you. Do you have a family?
I live in Cape Town. I've got a family. Uh, my 7-year-old son sometimes helps me test the game if I bribe him nicely.
Oh, nice. Oh, you have to
Yeah,
bribe. What sort of things do you
yeah.
bribe him with?
Sweets.
Yeah, that should usually work for a 7-year-old.
Robux.
Oh, right. Oh, dear. So, what else interests you? How do you go about relaxing in an evening?
Um, Besides watching Obi-Wan.
Oh, really? I'm watching that at the moment as well. Final two episodes coming up. No spoilers.
No, no, no. And I also do martial arts and things like that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Balance between coding and some exercise.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, a lot of time spent at the desk. So, what sort of martial arts are we talking about?
Chinese martial arts. Like Tai Chi and Wing Chun and things like that.
Oh, wonderful. You're the sole developer working on an ambitious undertaking. Um, where did you start with that?
Um, I've been developing little games over many years since I was like 10 years old, but I really started with like a warp space around 2017. And back then the game was more like EVE Online, um, except you didn't have to click point and click.
Really?
And then and I had a little bit of multiplayer going there as well. And then I didn't really like it, so I tried out like third person flying your ship,
Mm-hmm.
and later added the ability to exit the ship, which is kind of where Star Citizen's influence came in.
I see.
And
Yes.
up to the point now where you can get out. It's first person.
Hopefully, we'll see a little bit more of that soon as well.
Yeah.
So, how big then has it got since the beginning? I mean, you've explained a little bit about where you started from, but did you ever imagine it being as big as this?
Um, I'm not sure about all developers, but we all want to make like the biggest game ever. But as a developer, you know that you've got to keep it quite small, especially solo, because you can only implement so many game mechanics um, without it getting too big to manage. But the game is actually quite big, bigger than I expected.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, like you said, especially as a solo developer, and one that presumably isn't looking at having more developers on board in the future.
Um, that would possibly be after early access or something like that. I'm not sure. It's difficult for me because I want the game to be a certain way, and if you get other people involved, tend to try influence you, and they want the game to be like this or like that. So,
I can understand that feeling. Yes.
yeah, stick to your vision.
So, how many hours have you worked on this so far? You've been developing since 2017. How many sort of hours a day or a week do you put into this?
Well, in 2020, I started coding much more heavily. Before 2020, it was just like an hour or two a week. But from 2020, it was from 2 hours a day to about 5 hours a day. pretty consistently.
Wow, that's a good number of hours, especially when you have a day job as well.
Yeah.
So how long was it until you showed it to the public? Was it something you showed off quite early on to some select people? Or?
Yeah. Sure exactly the timeline, but it could have been 2 months after starting to develop quite heavily. Yeah. And progressively, as I get more complete, then I show more instead of hiding the project.
The game's story so far sees the player controlling the main character who has come out of stasis into an unexpected hostile region of space. Survival and exploration of this open world are key elements. However, what do you have in mind for an overarching storyline?
Well, that's kind of a secret, but the idea is that you are exploring this environment, which can be quite big, but there's um, these elements in the background they have their own ideas and plans. Um, I don't know if that's too vague,
Right.
but
Well,
let's
you,
say you can either take part in um, this evolving story or unfolding story, or you can just build your base.
I see. Okay, so you can spend time uh, sandboxing in this game to your heart's content without having to really delve into that story. That story is always going to be waiting there for you if you want to step into it.
Yeah, yeah. And depending where you build your base in the game, and you can build more than one, um, you might get interfered with if it's in an area that this presence wants to inhabit.
Very cool. So you mentioned Star Citizen being an influence earlier on. To what extent did Star Citizen inspire you? And what about other games too?
Yeah, I've been playing games for years. So um, from playing on the ZX Spectrum, there was a game called Rescue, which was in space.
The
Um,
Spectrum. Wow, that is a long time of game playing.
yeah, and uh, there's what are the most popular games? What was it called? I can't remember now. Everybody's played it, but I'll skip over that. And to Star Citizen, it was the whole thing of being able to EVA, and fly around your ship, and uh,
Right.
yeah,
That freedom.
yes, yeah, because a lot of space games like um, Everspace and things like that, you don't get out of the ship. It's just a shooter, you know. And I
Right.
like the
Yeah.
idea of being able to land or EVA and explore and get back to your ship. Maybe it got damaged. Maybe you have to escape to your ship. There's a lot of interesting things that you could do.
Some is a little bit more visceral and real.
Yes.
Yeah, there certainly is a lot of elements to Star Citizen and a lot of similarities I've found between that game and your own.
Yeah. Yeah. I, well, you play Star Citizen and you think, okay, well, mining is cool and FPS is cool and exploration is cool. So you they're kind of common to the space genre, but you kind of want to have that in your game as well. And of course, base building is quite a big thing.
There's voice talent within Warped Space. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so there's a few people who might be voicing in Warp Space. One of them is Meyer. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Yeah, watched him many times on Twitch.
He's quite good at role playing and things like that, and he's voiced one of the trailers, and he should be voicing some characters in the game. And then there's Rainbow Wrangler. She does quite a few art streams and plays SC as well.
She does indeed.
She voices the ship's computer.
Yeah, very recognizable.
Yes.
She has an emoji for our channel as well, made for us, bless her.
Nice. Yeah.
So you talked about characters that are going to be voiced. Are we going to have any alien sort of voices? Aliens that might speak English or speak alien?
Possibly.
Okay.
Possible.
Is that another one of those hush hush secrets that we're keeping close to our chest?
Kind of.
Okay.
There's something, but hopefully there's a twist to it that is not been done too often.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't press too much because I do like surprises in games myself.
Yeah.
So voice talent, though, it isn't the only contribution from fellow citizens, with Bo's artwork making it in.
Yeah. She does quite a few, or a lot of the art that's related to sci-fi. We've taken some of it, and you can collect them as paintings or posters, and you can decorate your habitat with them.
So are these going to be collectibles? How many pieces are in the game? And is she working on more specifically for warped space?
Yeah, I think there's about 5 or 6, and there will be a few more. Yeah.
Nice. So you can take them, you can find them out in the verse. Are they discoverable in that way? And then
Yes.
you can hang them up in your habitat wherever you like.
Yeah.
Very cool. So who else has supported you with the project that you might like to mention?
Oh well, there's quite a few people, but there's a shout out page on my website. But the people who've backed the game, there's a few early backers who's backed the game, and yeah, big thank you to them. But I don't have a list of them.
Well, we'll check it out. We'll put the links in the description where people can find those.
Yeah, that's very cool.
What has been the most enjoyable part of your development journey?
Probably watching people play the game.
Really?
Yes.
I can imagine that being very special, seeing people play and enjoy something that you've created.
Yeah. And also seeing the bugs that they find.
Those two. More work for you to do. Yeah, great.
Yeah. Yeah, they tend to influence the direction a little bit, and yeah,
Yeah, because they give
things you
their
didn't expect.
things perhaps that they do with the game and come up with and ideas that they come up with and suggest to you, I guess, on the Discord, have made it into the game itself.
Yeah, yeah, to a certain extent. I have written a whole overarching story, so can't really influence that too much, but there are a few things where it does help a lot.
Okay, then. So, what has been the most unfortunate happenings during the development? What's gone wrong?
Nothing's really gone wrong, which is maybe that's a bit strange, but um,
Wow, you're
yeah,
that skillful. You need to start helping out
yeah.
at the RSI.
Well, since it's single player, it is a little bit easier. But so if you want to say something that's gone wrong, I kind of put multiplayer into it as a test to see how easy it would be. So there's a possibility the game will have a co-op in the end.
That is something when you announced that as a little sort of teaser to us, really, that excited me quite a bit. I'm a big, when it comes to gaming, those single player games for me often get quite boring very quickly and repetitive. But stick me in an MMO and I'm happy. And I really like my teamwork. We are Team Brigade here after all. So co-op really does
Yeah.
perk my interest quite a bit.
Yeah. I suppose the closest game would be a Valheim, where
Oh,
you can,
wonderful! Yeah,
yeah, um, yeah. But I'm not going to say too much about that. But yeah, Valheim actually influenced the game a little bit. But when you play it, you'll be able to tell.
had a lot of fun on Valheim teaming up with people.
Cool.
Did anything particularly fortunate occur with the progress where you thought it would maybe take longer or be more difficult and it turned out to be quicker and easier?
There were a few things. I created this ability to have quite a big open world, and I thought that was going to take quite a long time to do. Um, but it turned out to be relatively quick. So um, on the flip side, being solo, it takes a long time to do everything because you have to do gameplay and lighting and animation and texturing and modeling and everything. So it could take quite a while. But
It is pretty amazing, really, for one person to take on so many tasks because it's not a simple game. There's a lot to it, so it is pretty damn impressive what you managed to do, and in your time frame as well.
yeah, yeah, it's actually about two, because from 2020 to 2022 is it's 2 years of real development. So yeah, it's not too bad. There's still quite a way to go, but it's progressing nicely now. And I think I sent you the trailer that you
You
might
did, yes,
have a look
yes.
at.
First sneak peeks, especially for me though, right? Nobody else has seen that yet.
No, no one's seen it yet.
Yeah, good. So, please tell us about time capsules and quantum messaging.
Okay, so time capsules is a concept I borrowed from Subnautica,
Mm-hmm.
where the player can leave a message and maybe some items they found and place it somewhere, and another player playing solo can find it.
I was so intrigued when I saw that. So, anyone playing this game on their own, in their own time, at home, can place a message anywhere out there in the universe.
Yeah,
And
and probably possibly a screenshot as well of where they were or where they are.
so, a little kind of like a Polaroid snapshot and a little message.
Yeah,
And so this could be, I mean, it could be absolutely anything. It could be something goofy, or it could indeed be something like, some helpful information to somebody in the area. They
yeah,
can pick this up and perhaps figure out what they might need to do a little bit quicker, perhaps.
yeah. It could be, yeah.
That is super
And if
cool.
you can always choose not to open it if you find one.
Yeah, if you don't want any spoilers.
Yeah. It worked quite well in Subnautica, and I quite like the idea. So we're allowed to borrow ideas.
So other than the gameplay that we've talked about, and I know there's some secrets, is there anything further that you are considering, or do you think that maybe as time goes on, even when the game has been released, you will add to?
Um, yeah, after release, it's probably co-op, um, and just expanding the environments you can explore, because I think exploration is quite a big component to the game. Uh, Probably something other games um, I think haven't done that well, because usually it's signposted too much, and you actually want to explore properly without it just being fed to you.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, in a lot of games nowadays, I do feel that way. I feel like yeah, things are oversimplified and a little bit on rails, even in a big universe. And to some degree, because I do like my storyline and I do want to follow it, I quite enjoy that because I don't have to think too hard and get lost. But in a big universe such as Warp Space or Star Citizen, I want it to be fun and interesting for me to just go about my business and explore on my own time, and one day come across something that no one's ever found before.
yeah, yeah, and that's kind of the idea. Is you explore and you'll probably find the same things as other people in the starting areas and things like that. But over time, we'll be adding extra, or I'll be adding extra places, more things to find. Yeah, the one little tidbit I can tell you,
Oh, go on.
um, you kind of want to keep it secret, but it's quite a nice one. Is that if you find another ship in the game, it is possible that you might be able to get into it and use it.
Oh, nice. mm.
So that opens up quite a few gameplay avenues that you might not find in another game.
Oh, well, I hope we can find an alien ship and it's easy enough for us to control.
Well, I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, no, I didn't think you would. We got something out of you today. So, yeah, talking about the ships then, the player will find themselves in the cockpit of a ship. What sort of flight experience are you going for?
um, it's something I call fun physics.
Okay.
So the game should be fun. It's not really a simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Because space simulation really isn't, if it was real accurate simulation, it wouldn't really be that fun, right?
well, it depends what you're looking for, but if it was a simulator, I would probably call it warp space simulator, space simulator.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more for fun, and the flight mechanics, I think, are quite fun, and that's where people who want to test it out and give feedback are welcome to do so. So it it seems pretty good to me.
I like nippy, nimble ships. I'm quite I like there's a lot of fun in Twitch kind of reactions and play and for me. So yeah, hopefully there'll be a bit of that in there.
Yeah. Yeah, they should be, but you might have to upgrade your ship first
Oh
because
right, okay.
the ships have, or the ship has, uh, you have the ability to upgrade it and fix things that are damaged, and so it's actually quite involved. When everything is um, implemented.
So it's not all in ships. Players can get out on foot in first person. Tell us about that experience. When you step outside of your ship and you're on firm ground, what can you experience?
Yeah, so the game is set in deep space. One one reason for that is I'm a solo guy and I'm not going to model full planets.
I don't
So I
blame
went
you.
a different, yeah, I went a different route, and it's also part of the story, so it fits perfectly together. Um, you you can get out of your ship in EVA, but there are what I call planet fragments that you can land on. And because of the lore of the game, you can walk around on them. They've got gravity sometimes, and you can explore and
Ah,
find things and encounter different creatures. And yeah, I won't say too much what else you can find. The footage up to now is a fair amount of it is placeholder, so a lot of things will actually get better visually. Uh, because I'm a coder by first. I'm not really an artist, so the coding came first. A lot of people who make indie games, small games, they're actually artists first, so the game looks amazing, and then they learn either development or get a developer to help them.
right, I see.
So I'm at the point now where I'm starting to work on the art because I've finished 90% of the game mechanics. And things like that. So now I've started doing the visuals. So of course now the game's starting to look a little bit better. Yeah.
So a lot of players get excited about in these types of games are those player habs. How far does it go? Can we build our own fortress?
Um. Yes. I don't know if you've seen the other trailers and that, but it's more like a habitat, so you can build it quite extensively. But in warp space, if you build in certain places, um, or not, there's not really specific areas, but if you build near something dangerous, you might have to put defenses on your base. Your base can be attacked, and you will have to have a little bit of defense going there. But it won't be attacked when you're not there because that wouldn't be balanced very well.
Right, okay. Otherwise, if you weren't there for some time, even if it were just a few smaller creatures, maybe eventually they could tear it down and it wouldn't be nice to come back to.
Yeah. Although I don't know what's going to happen in co-op, but yeah, we'll see that it's fair and balanced.
So, what kind of modules could we expect with these habitats? Would we be able to build like a spaceship platform, like a landing platform, or
Yes,
a
you can
bedroom?
build. Yeah, you can build. Well, there are different layouts. Basically whatever you want, and there will be landing pads and repair docks and things like that, and a bedroom and place to grow things to eat and things like that, and defenses as well. Power and shields and yeah.
So a lot. It's quite in depth. This habitat building.
Yeah, it's um I'm not sure. It's not like some of the um more advanced building games. Can't think of one now, like Factorio or something like that. But it's not too bad.
Of course, you can only do so much, and you are only one man.
Yeah.
And it's not that sort of game either, is it? It's more of a collection of these things as opposed to a focus. Like a
Yeah, it's fun exploration with space combat and exploring different places and finding creatures and finding things and upgrading your ship and yeah. And if you want to, you can try solve the story.
as a side quest. So you've teased some multiplayer in Warped Space with co-op, adventure, teamwork. What about PvP?
We will see how the co-op goes. And if it goes the route of Valheim, maybe one day you can have 10 people. We'll have to see how well the networking works.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll put that on the back burner for now.
Yeah. But if everything goes well, you never know. Maybe there's a wormhole you can jump through to your friend's server and visit their base and steal their stuff. I don't know.
That sounds cool. Yes, please. Yeah, put that up the list there somewhere. Put that a little bit higher up for me.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Okay, now I've said too much.
Yeah, we're really getting this out of you today. Yeah, job well done.
Yeah.
So what engine are you using?
Yeah, Unity. It's probably the most, I don't know if the right word is friendly, but it's quite good when you're solo or a small team.
Right.
Yeah.
How is that? What's the reason for that? Is it just things a bit more straightforward, easy to get to and use?
Well, since I haven't really used anything else, I can't really say. But they've got a lot of. It's just a lot easier to put things together and to um, you code on top of objects. So yeah, I don't know. It just suits me. You can script objects and things like that. You could take a glass and you can attach a script, some code to it, and that makes it a little bit easier. Yeah, I don't know.
So have you created any of your own tools?
I've got tools that I use to do all the metadata, things like that. Not really in the engine itself, but more the pipeline to go from a ship and get everything working and things like that.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can we ask a when question?
um, it's probably about 2 years away, if I
That's
have to
not
guess.
super long.
No, it's not. If I worked more hours on it, it could be a bit sooner, but
And
yeah.
what can we do about that? How can we get you working more hours?
Just there is a what did I call it? An earliest access version.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're really curious about where the game is and that you can uh, pledge or whatever you call it these days to back the game, and you get the earliest access version before it goes to early access.
Right.
And
Okay.
you can play it and you can give feedback and you go get on the Discord server and yeah, I probably push 2 builds a day at least if you're that enthusiastic. But
And people are. I've seen those names up on the Discord for people who have this sort of early access.
yeah.
But there's a bit more to Warp Space being developed. What can you tell us about Stream Dogfighter?
Okay, so that is a game I started working on also around 2020 during the pandemic at the start. And I was watching streamers play Stream Racer. And I thought, why isn't there a space version of this? So I quickly wrote some code and took what I had already and made kind of a stream racer in space. yeah, your chat can spawn a ship, and the AI fights for you, basically. And you can each person in chat can send commands to the ship to attack and evade and choose like a target. Like they can all target the streamer. Um,
But
and
you can
things
turn
like
that
that.
function off if you wish, yeah?
Oh there's a lot of options, and I haven't worked on it for a little while, but it's still in active development. Yeah, it's not.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
and
pretty keen to follow the progress on that, as we do play quite a few different chat games within our own shows here at Brigade, and that is something that would definitely fit in nicely.
yeah, you're welcome to try it out and give feedback. And the more feedback I get, the more the game gets updated.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, I will do.
No
So
problem.
we're going to have all your media links down there in the video's description. But where are the best places viewers can go to follow you and the game's progress?
Probably the best place is Twitter, and Discord if you want to join that. Then there's also the development YouTube channel. And if you don't know where else to look, you can find the game on Steam, but unreleased. Just the page.
Great. Thank you, Wing, aka Warp Space Dev.
It's a
Keep
pleasure.
continuing that hard work, fella. And thank you so much for coming and speaking to me today. This has been exciting to do. I've been looking forward to doing this for the last couple of months. And it's great that we've been able to get here today and do this.
Yeah, thanks. It's been good, and I'm looking forward to see how you enjoy the game.
Cheers, my dude. Thank you. 07s to you. And yeah, we'll see you out there in the verse, I guess.
Thanks. Yes, I will see you in the verse.
Wake up, operator. Chance of survival low. I suggest scouting for nearby space debris. You may find some biological materials to power the propulsion system. Locating potential fuel source. Engine online. It is okay to run. Hide. thing is draining my shield. Wake up, operator.
One, all.